up, I sold my soul a good price, out of sight, and my whole got talent.
Hi guys and welcome to Ban Tech Tips, and before we begin, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. Welcome to another video guys, and in this video we'll talk about which frame rate do we need to select and what use case is the best suitable for a specific frame rate. So we'll talk about 24, 30, 120 and 60 frames. Let me first tell you what exactly is frame rate and why do we need to select one of those frame rates and what benefits do we get. So if you look at a picture, let's open your phones, click a picture, look at that, you would get great dynamic range, you would get bokeh effect, you would have great colors and all of that because it's actually a single frame. Technically a picture is just a frame, and a video, for example this video that you're looking at, that you're watching on YouTube, this is a combination of different pictures clicked by the camera. So this video is being recorded at 30 frames per second, which I prefer, and then I recorded to 30 frames second timeline on Premiere Pro. That's called sequence if I'm not wrong, and then I export a video, upload it on YouTube for 30 frames per second, and that is the video that you are watching at the moment. So it has 30 different pictures that you're actually looking at in a specific point in time. So technically a second, you're looking at 30 different pictures in a second. So 24 frames is basically for more cinematic look. 60 frames is more about a fast moving motion wherein you need to record a lot of things, you need to focus a lot of times, so that's when you need 60 frames. And 24, 30 or 60, these are not technically 24 and 30 frames. 24 is technically 23.987 if I'm not wrong, and 30 frames is technically 29.97. The reason is I can upload a video specifically for that, but then just to let you know about it, back when color TVs were introduced, because of some technical glitch, they had a problem rendering the video, so they actually reduced the frame rate by 0.1%. and they got the best result. That's why 24 frames is not technically true 24 frames a second, it's 23.987, and 30 frames is 29.97. So whenever we talk about 24 or 30, it's actually 29.97 and 23.987. Now videos like this, when I'm sitting here talking to the camera, talking to you guys are watching this video, there's no motion at all. I mean, there's just me talking to you, making some gestures, so we can record it on 24 frames. Although a lot of cell phones, a lot of smartphones do not have that in the built-in app, but then you have multiple apps like Final Cut Pro, no, that's Filmic Pro if I'm not wrong, that's Filmic Pro. You can use that, otherwise you can still record on 30 frames. I'm using the standard app, I'm recording in 30 frames per second, and that's how the video looks like. So 24 is used for more cinematic clip when you actually, you're trying to focus on something, you're trying to, let's say the camera is trying to focus on me because I'm trying to explain something. 24 would be a better thing to record the video in, but I recorded in 30 frames because it has got a little more smoother motion than 24. Now I can also go up to 60 frames, which I did in my initial videos that I uploaded on my YouTube channel. You can go back to my channel, check those videos. They were probably uploaded in 2017 if I am not wrong, and you can check those videos. They have great motion, they actually have more frames, but then there's no point of recording more frames when I'm just talking to the camera, I'm talking to you guys, there's no point actually. So I would use 24 or 30 in these scenarios, and one should always use 24 or 30 for YouTube videos wherein we talk to the camera. If I'm recording a video clip, when you look at the movies, some series on Netflix, these are all recorded in 24 frames per second. Now, there are few clips that are actually recorded in 60 frames or even 120, or they use amazing cameras, so it can also be 240 frames per second. But what they do is, when there is anything fast moving, so let's say it's an action scene, they record it in 60 frames, they actually add it to a sequence in Premiere Pro or Final Cut Pro which is handling 24 frames, so the video is reduced from 60 frames all the way to 24 frames, and then they actually export the video and you look at a 24 frames per second video or a 30 frames at the most. Now, how do they do that? They actually record it in 60 frames, reduce the speed by a margin so that it actually comes up to 24 frames, looks like 24 frames, and because we are actually recording in 60 frames, slowing down the footage does not look choppy. So if I reduce this 30 frames a second video to 1 frames, it would look a lot choppier. You would probably not see anything on the screen, just a still photo. And then if I increase it to 4 or even 8 frames per second, that will look a lot better. 12 would look way better than 4, and then 24 would be kind of cinematic, 30 would be a little more smoother. So when you actually trying to reduce the speed of a video, make sure that you record it either in 60 frames or 120 when you're trying to do a slow-mo. But when you're trying to reduce just a little in the motion, so let's say from 100% you go to 95%, 30 frames a second would be an easy option with that cinematic look, with that slow motion. So it's I think the best thing in that point in time. Now, there are a lot of YouTubers who actually record in 120 frames. Now, I'm not talking about a video like this. It is actually a B-roll clip. So B-roll footage, they record it in 120 or 240 frames because they actually need to do that cinematic sequence, and then they do a slow-mo because it has less camera shakes, more focus, great range of great dynamic range, and you know that's way easier to record than 24, 30 or even 60 frames. So if we talk about the basic disadvantages and advantages of these frame rates, 24 and 30 I would say are more cinematic, 60 is not. Reducing a 24 or 30 frames video, reducing the speed, slowing it down would look a lot choppier. 60 would not would look better than definitely 30 and 24. 120 would look a lot better, it would look natural. You would have more camera shakes in 24 and 30 frames because there are not a lot of frames to actually in that sequence to actually give you a smooth motion. 60 would have less camera shakes than 30 and 24, and then 120 would have no or very few camera shakes. So that's how it is, and please make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that when I upload a new video on the channel you get notified. Press that bell icon, make sure that you select all notifications, like the video if you like it, leave a comment. I think you have some questions about it, leave a comment about that. I'll try and answer that with a video probably, or even if I get a chance I'll reply to that comment. And make sure that you share this video with people who have these questions, and I know there are a lot of people who do. Thank you so much for joining. Take care and see you the next time. Bye.